What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video on the Map to Life. This is Trevor Soderholm, and I help people heal and return to wholeness. That's what my mission, that's what I'm super passionate about. It's just helping people, whatever that looks like for you, helping people heal and returning once again to wholeness, returning, awakening, remembering who we are. And there's tools, there's way we can go about doing that, and I've had to go on this journey, my own journey of awakening and returning to wholeness. And that's why I'm passionate about helping other people go through that process. And there's a lot of information out in the world, right? You can go and type in anything on Google or YouTube. This is on YouTube. So I want to show you how to use the information, okay? And I'm not here to be like an authority figure. I'm here to hold you in your highest potential. I want to be the bridge to show you what is present within you. So in order to heal, in order to return to wholeness, we got to do the work on ourselves. We got to look within, because as without, so within. The world is a mirror. It's just a reflection of what's going on inside of us. And that is one of the tools, to learn what's going on inside is to look at your world around you. How are you projecting? We all do it, and most of us do it subconsciously. We project our shadows onto other people, and I'm going to be talking a lot about shadows and doing shadow work. Our shadows are just those subconscious. Oh, this is Tony Stark, if everyone wants to say hi. He'll be going up and down. But our shadows are just our subconscious parts of ourselves that we've disowned. So like if we were told not to be a certain way, not to be greedy people are bad, then a lot of times we've disowned that quality in ourselves. And you can't get rid of qualities. Every single quality that exists and characteristic and aspect they exist within each and every one of us. And we can't get rid of them. And when we try to do that, he's hyper right now. When we try to disown an aspect, it doesn't go away. It shows up in other areas of our life. It projects itself, and it happens subconsciously. So if we if we have disowned the fact about, or if we have disowned greed, then maybe greedy people will show up in our life to reveal to us where we are not free. And what I wanted to touch on in this video specifically was how to overcome the feeling of inadequacy, because that's something I experienced recently. For me, it was something, and I think that most people will be able to relate to this, is the feeling of not being good enough. Maybe you can relate. Have you ever felt not good enough, right? Of course. And so what happens when we don't feel good enough, we try to prove that we are good enough. And so there's a gift there, right? We can create this very successful life by trying to prove that we are good enough. But all that it's doing is just perpetuating the fact that we're not good enough, because we've disowned that, and we're trying to prove that we are good enough through status and success and whatever we're trying to achieve. But when it comes to the map to life and returning to wholeness, in order to experience that wholeness, we integrate. So we don't run away from not feeling good enough. We embrace not feeling good enough. We go back, and the reason we don't feel good enough is usually there's a past event that happened in our life, and maybe we were told we weren't good enough, and then we kept telling ourselves that story that we're not good enough and we're not good enough. And so there's an event, so we can look back on events in our life to see when that happened, and then we face it. We feel, how does it feel? So many people are afraid to feel. And so I'm here to give you the permission to feel. Feel the feelings. Feel the feelings. And we live in a society where it's not okay to feel. So many people are on medications and depressed and mental illness and all these things. Tony Stark. This is bad timing, but we're gonna roll with it. We're rolling with it. And so we've been told it's not okay to feel certain things, or you shouldn't feel that way. So we need to feel the feeling. We got to face the feeling of inadequacy. We got to face it. And so that's what I did. I faced it, and I told myself, I'm not good enough. And that's not an affirmation I tell myself every day, but in order for me to integrate that quality, I got to face it and say, okay, yes, my true identity is that I am whole and complete and that I am enough. But there's times as well, there's that duality, that polarity of times where I'm not good enough. Stark, come on, come here. There's times where I'm not good enough. And so in order for me to take my power back, I have to realize that sometimes I'm actually not good enough. Because if I'm trying to prove that I am good enough, that has power over me. And literally once I did that, I felt free. It no longer had control or power over me, that feeling of inadequacy, because I embraced it, I faced it, I felt it. And now I'm telling myself a new story, and and I can embrace that new story. I can wire in a new story. And so returning to wholeness is a lot about looking within at our subconscious programs, the way we've been conditioned, the way we've been told how things are. This is how the world works. This is how things are. So we got to look within, because in order to return to wholeness, we got to do the work. Okay, so that's what I'm super passionate about here, is doing the work and integrating the duality. So wholeness is going to be found in the middle. The duality exists, right? In order for us to understand, there has to be that duality, the right and wrong. If there was no such thing as darkness, then we wouldn't be able to have a comprehension or understanding of what the light is. So in order for us to comprehend and understand things, there's always that duality is always going to exist, but wholeness is found in the middle, when we can merge and embrace both, the either or, the right and the left, and we realize that it's actually one and the same thing. We're not different. We're not separated. The greatest illusion is the illusion of separation. And so when we realize we're all one, and we can look in our external reality and realize it's just a reflection of what's going on inside of us. This is one of the most powerful tools and processes and transformations that I've been through, this spiritual awakening, this looking within and doing the work, taking 100% responsibility for my life, for my healing. That's what it comes down to, is we have to stop blaming. Stop blaming other people. We have to stop complaining. And we have to take our power back, take 100% responsibility for where we are in life. For where we are in life today is 100% our responsibility. And when we realize and we learn how reality works, we can stop the blaming. When we take our power back and we realize that everything in our life is happening for us, we can stop asking why. Why do bad things happen? See, that's a story we tell ourselves. Thinking, and we're living in that duality of bad things happening to good people. That's existing in that duality. But we can see things from a neutral perspective, and we can give it a new meaning. And we can tell ourselves that every single thing that's happening is happening for a reason. It's leading to my awakening. That's what reality is. We're here to remember who we are, because we've forgotten who we are. We are not these physical, temporary bodies. These are just temporary and physical. We're here to awaken and remember who we are, and who we are is we are eternal. We're spiritual beings. That's our true identity. That doesn't change. But the ego wants to tell the story. Our ego is who we perceive ourselves to be. But our spirit is who we really are, our true identity. And that's where all this comes together and merges, of starting to becoming more and more aware. Because 90% of transformation is all about awareness. becoming aware of the things we don't know that we don't know. Because that's like 90%. 90% of the things we don't know that we don't know. It's like 90%. There's like 5% is like things we know that we know. So when the ego just wants to be right and protect us, it's doing its job. And it's who we perceive ourselves to be. And all that is a perception. And we can change that. We can let go of those stories of the ego trying to control us and protect us. We can transcend, and when we transcend and awaken, we don't get rid of all these things and qualities. We embrace, we transcend and include. We include everything that's happened to our past. It's very tempting when something happens to say, I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be like those people because of what happened. But that's still a victim mentality. And then now you're operating from a place of who you don't want to be. See, that is not a position that's not an empowering position. If you don't want to be something, that's driving you. A lot of people, that's what drives a lot of people, is because they don't want to be like someone or something. And so it's not getting rid of anything. It's embracing the duality, because that's when we experience wholeness. That's how we take our power back. That's how we heal, because your body has the natural capacity to heal itself. And it starts with our thoughts. It starts in the mind. It starts with our perception. It starts with becoming more and more aware. And that's what I'm here to do, is to help you guys become more and more aware, to empower you to take your power back. You are your own, your body, to become more and more aware of your body as well. We're so disconnected in our world from our bodies. So merging that mind-body connection and becoming more aware of our bodies, because our bodies are just going to constantly our bodies are just sending us messages. If something's wrong, our bodies is sending us a message. So to really become aware of our bodies is extremely powerful. So I hope this video was helpful. How to overcome the feeling of inadequacy. Remember to merge, embrace the feeling of inadequacy, realizing, yes, we are both, because wholeness is found in the middle. And when we do that, it loses its power over us, and we will no longer be projecting it, because we will have embraced it into our wholeness, into our being. Hope this video is helpful. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.